Hello YouTube family, it's Lisa, and I just wanted to give you guys an update. I apologize for taking so long to do this, because I know some of you probably have been anxious to know how our embryo transfer went. And I can tell you it was scheduled for April 21st at 3 p.m. And that morning, probably around 10 o'clock in the morning, my doctor called me and said she had just got the results from our embryo testing, and she wanted to call and let me know that all three of our embryos had tested abnormal, so they were going to cancel the transfer. This wasn't just simple abnormal, it was complex. Complex abnormal is what she called two of them, which was, I believe, one boy and one girl embryo, and then the other embryo, which was a boy, was, if you want to say it was the most normal of all of them, you can say that, but it was still not good. It had chromosome number 6 and chromosome number 4. Those were missing a copy, so it was monosomy 6 and 14. So that was the least abnormal of all of them, but they were all not good and unusable. So we had to cancel that transfer. And so we're here today, and I don't know what we're going to do as far as our next steps. We do have a meeting with our doctor on the 29th of April to just discuss, I guess, everything. I believe we were both disappointed in learning about, the abnormalities. Because if you were to look at them, with the invisible eye, according to my doctor, they were dividing fine and they looked like pretty good eggs. Although she said, that morning that 2 of them had started to disintegrate, and the one that she would have transferred, of course, was one of the abnormal ones. It's a little upsetting. No, I haven't cried about it, and I'm not even sure why I haven't. It just kind of sucks, I guess. And at the other side of that is, for me anyway, it's a little bit of a relief as far as we know that we've tried everything in our power, and using the power of science, using the power of prayer, using whatever powers we have, that we tried everything we could to make a child that was half me and half John. And it didn't work, and I'm at peace with that, because I know I tried. There's no unquestioned and unanswered questions, I guess. Now, could we repeat the IVF, or get some more eggs and retest? Of course we could, if we wanted to spend the money. Was that going to guarantee us any good eggs? No. So, when I look back on the journey so far, I had to write my notes because I was getting my dates mixed up, so forgive me, I don't have it all memorized, but, we started this in November of 2009 with my tubal reversal. We did a couple of IUI cycles, before we tried IVF the first time, but, we did the IVF, our first IVF cycle in November, December of 2011, which it did not work. And then a frozen cycle that February of 2012. And that one did not work either. And when that one didn't work, that's when we took that break that ended up being a year. It just ended up being a year quite quickly. And I think part of that was because, when we stopped focusing on trying to make a child, I got busy, or maybe I started doing things to keep my mind busy, and one of those was the Mrs. Pageant, and then also I had prepared to return to school to get my bachelor's after getting my associates in nursing. So those things were keeping me busy, but I think what prompted us to get back into the game, besides the fact that we were getting older, was that in just October of 2012, we got pregnant spontaneously, without trying, without anything. So of course that was very hopeful for us, because we felt like, hey, my tubes are open, which we knew they were, but you still don't know. And the only thing is that I miscarried with that quite early, and that's probably because there was some issues with chromosomes when you look back onto it now. But after that happened, we kind of got back in the groove of things, and it was, I think, March of 2013 whenever I went to see Dr. Metwally in Odessa, because Dr. Bello had left, went to Houston, so we had to see someone else, and he kind of took over her practice. And when we went back, we initially were just going to transfer the 3 remaining embryos that we had, that when we did IVF with Dr. Bello. Well, I don't know about doctors and the way they do things, but that doctor was like, I don't know how good they are. I haven't had any success transferring any of hers, since she left. I don't know that yours are going to work. So, he said, let's see if we can't get you pregnant. So, he did kind of the same stuff. He did a HSG, semen analysis on John. I think he used letrozole instead of Clomid, though, for his stimulation. So we used that, and we did end up pregnant in April of 2013, and that was an early miscarriage. It was about 6 weeks as well, and that was doing an IUI. So we still know that our tubes are open, and we still know that I can implant. It's just, again, probably just bad eggs, or bad chromosome. I don't know, bad me, bad something. So now here we are, April 2014, with the failed IVF cycle. Alright. As far as the post-retrieval symptoms, I did have the usual discomfort that you have, the bloating. The Saturday following the retrieval, I called the office because I had some really bad pain in the lower right quad, and I'm talking probably level 7 to 8 on the pain scale, because I can handle a good amount of pain. So for me to complain of pain, it had to be hurting. Then I called. It was the on-call nurse and the other doctor in the practice, whom I've never met. But basically what they said was, well, since you're not having trouble breathing, just keep taking the Parladel, which was the medicine to help bring things down, and hydrate yourself and rest. I'm like, okay. And I think Monday morning, the morning of the supposed to be egg transfer, the other side was hurting. And of course, I was getting more distended and more bloated and uncomfortable, and it was hard at night especially, and I was exchanging air, but it was a little with more effort, I guess. Not labored breathing, but I could see I had to work a little bit. So I had called them back, and so they put me an appointment the following day, which was Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, I went in to just be re-evaluated, because to me, I wasn't getting any better with this swelling, and pain was worse. So, I'm concerned for myself, even if they weren't. Plus, my estrogen level was elevated, and that's why I had to take that pill. So I went in on that morning, and she did a sonogram. Of course, my ovaries were still large, still touching each other, and they still had fluid. But the way she explained it is that with the HSG trigger, the peak of that is usually 7 to 8 days after giving it, and that's about where we were. So she said, you're probably at your peak right now, and you should start feeling better, within the next 4 to 7 days. But if I have any problems, for sure call or come back. And I said, okay. So when I was leaving that appointment, I had to pay for that appointment, which just really perturbed me. Because that's kind of, if you want to look at it, a possible side effect of IVF, and I think that should be included in the freaking almost $13,000 we paid for them, you know, to do the IVF cycle and a frozen cycle, which we're never going to get because we, number one, didn't have enough eggs to freeze because all our eggs were bad. So, you know, when I went and took the slip and she's like, yeah, it's $340, I'm like, son of a gun. I was like, doesn't this go with what we already paid? She's like, no, it's separate. Even if you go into hyperstimulation, that's separate, which is a bunch of crock to me, I say, because whenever I had problems or, you know, issues with that, with the first IVF cycle with Dr. Bello, I called. She had me come in right away. She looked at me. She didn't charge me. She didn't charge, because that's kind of a risk, and to me that's considered a follow-up. But whatever, I didn't like that part, so I don't know. I'm a little bit irritated because they already took our money. I still feel like I'm owed a transfer of something. You know, I guess what we did is the Advantage 1, which you pay for your fresh IVF cycle, and then it comes with a frozen one in case, you know, the first one doesn't work. But if you don't have any eggs to freeze, then guess what? It's kind of like you paid a little extra. She said about $1,900 extra for your fresh cycle. And I get that. But what I don't get, and I will talk to her about this whenever we go, is I still think you owe me some kind of a transfer. We didn't get to do that. It got canceled. We didn't have any eggs. I realize, you know, whatever, but, you know, maybe give us some money back. That would be nice. But anyway, I'm going to get off of that because it doesn't matter how much I complain. It doesn't matter. But, okay. So, here we are. I just was going to share some, you know, I didn't buy a lot of baby stuff because what's the point? You know, I don't have a nursery set up in a room for a baby that's never going to come. I'm not that crazy. But I do buy, you know, a couple of things along the way. And my most recent purchase was more of a motivation for me with this cycle that we just did because I really was hopeful. You know, I really was hopeful that this was going to finally work and that I would be pregnant. And so my motivation, call it silly, call it crazy, call it whatever you want, I don't care, is, and I'm just going to have to show you on my computer here, I have to turn around, to motivate myself to get in the spirit, not that I really needed it, just to motivate myself that our goal is a baby. I bought these, and yes, they're preemie size, and yes, there's a boy and a girl. Not because I want twins, and not because I want a preemie, it's just, that's what I bought. And one says little big guy, and the other one says sweet girl. So, whether we had a boy or whether we had a girl, it was just a motivation to remind me. And then things I've bought in since the 4 years of trying, or 4 or 5, I don't even know. This is something I had made a long time ago when we were first trying, and this is just a little onesie. And I know it's going to be backwards for you guys, and I apologize. I bet if I turn it inside out, you might be able to see it. It'll be backwards for me, but I think you can tell what it says. It says, my daddy is a surgeon. Because he is. And then this is the other thing I had made, which it says, Daddy's little first assist. And if those of you that don't know, in the field of surgery and in operating, it's not going to show, they have first assists, which are basically nurses or professionals that have been trained, and they help the doctor. They're kind of right in the mess of things, and it's just a little matching hat. Those are little things I purchased or had made. This is something I had bought. It's got little duckies. It's little gowns, because when I had my other kids, these gowns were wonderful, and I really like them. I actually bought this when we were pregnant in March of 2013, because I was hoping we'd have a baby. and we didn't. And these were a couple of other little things. Not that I like ducks, I do obviously, but not that that's the theme, or not that that's anything other than it's gender neutral. Those are bibs. These were little, I guess they're little burpee pads, but they're, that's yellow and white if you can't tell. And a little blanket with these little embroidered duckies on them. And these little washcloths. And this little, I don't know, little towel thing. And then I had bought these just to have, I guess. And then this, I just found it was on sale. If I ever got pregnant, I was going to do that. So those are the things I bought. That's all I really have other than these belly stickers that I was planning on doing. I did buy this pocket pregnancy journal, which I haven't got to use yet. And then my intention was to do kind of like a scrapbook of my pregnancy experience. I've got the pages in here, but I don't have anything in it because we never got past 5 weeks of pregnancy. So I think that I've talked quite a bit. I apologize for the length of the video, 16 minutes. But I had a lot to say. And I do appreciate everyone. I appreciate every one of you that watch my videos, that have subscribed, that make sweet comments. That means a lot. It really does. So thank you. I'll keep in touch. I will probably do a video after we talk to our doctor on Tuesday the 29th. And other than that, the next big thing for me is graduating. May 10th. We're going to Texas because that's where my school is at. West Texas A&M University in Canyon, Texas. I'm graduating with honors because I'm pretty smart. I've been inducted into 3 honor societies. The Honor Society of Nursing, this Sigma Tau whatever International. That's the Honor Society of Nursing, which is a goal I had. The Pi Gamma something. It's the school's honor thing. And then another one, the Society of Leadership and Success. But you have to have a high GPA for those, which I do. So I'm proud. And I will brag about that one thing. I don't brag about a lot of things, but I will brag about my brain. Because that's the only good thing going for me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all doing well. For those of you that are still waiting for your results, or waiting to start IVF, or in the middle of your cycle, I pray that you have better luck than I did. I pray that you get your positive pregnancy test. I pray that you deliver a beautiful, healthy baby or babies, and that it all goes well for you. Have a super great day. Bye.